2, 1. What's up, everyone? You're watching another episode of Ash on Comics. My name is Ash, and it's Taco Tuesday. So you know what? I'm eating some burritos from Del Taco. If you don't know what Del Taco is, this is a Southern California establishment. They have branched out. They were in Colorado when I was there. So they might have had them. If you still don't know what that is, think of like Taco Bell, but better. Yeah, it's fast food. These are bean, rice, and cheese burritos. And you're like, Ash, why do we even care? You're like, well, I just thought I would do things different today, right? Like, I'm about to sit down and review this bad boy. So I haven't ready yet. So I'm gonna eat my bean, rice, and cheese. These are called Jacked Up Value Bean, Rice, and Cheese burritos. I kid you not, that's the full name of the burrito. And this looks like Jacked Up Value Avengers. So yeah, I'm gonna eat, and then we're gonna. I'll shut up now. All right, true believers, we're back, and now, after filling my belly with a couple of Jacked Up Value Bean, Rice, and Cheese burritos. I just like saying those. Such a silly name. We're going to get into the review of Savage Avengers #1. I just finished reading it, so I got some thoughts. I haven't organized them. It's going to be totally off the cuff. Let's go. We start off. We got an opera singer. La Figaro, Figaro. Okay, anyways, I'm not an opera singer. He's like, oh, yes. Says, thank you, and immediately, apparently in operas, you just walk off stage, get in your car, and drive away. Where he's chloroformed by nefarious people. Or do you say nefarious? Some people say nefarious. The Savage Land. And this was a really cool shot. I liked the transition here. You don't know what's going on. You decide, got a guy. He's singing. You don't know who he is. You know he's an opera singer. And then you got some bad people like, oh. And then immediately, boom, we're in the Savage Land. And you're like, oh, what's going on? And it's hard to see here, but they're escorting now. Oh, it's the opera singer. There's no need to treat me so roughly. One more for the bowl. I have kidnapping insurance. My people are instructed to pay. It will do you no good. What is this place? What is this place indeed? Look at this. Welcome to the city of sickles. This is your destiny, Signore Silviano. If you intend to hurt me, you should know I have powerful friends. We know. We're counting on it. Oh, that's good. That's good. Like, that sets me up like, oh, okay, these guys are badass. They know it. They're not afraid of powerful people coming. They want them. This is all part of their plan. And I think I should take time to note the art here. Look at, so far, it's just above Marvel standards, which is oftentimes just Tumblr trash art. I mean, this isn't like the best art I've ever seen, but it's very solid. And the amount of time and effort to put in these backgrounds to really get you the feel is very important, especially in a place like this where you've never been to this place before. So seeing it is important. When you're having a guy get mugged in an alley, we've all been in alleys before, or seen them. So you don't necessarily need to get all super descriptive, detailed. The reader knows, okay, they're in an alley, their mind can fill in the blanks, but they can't fill in the blanks of exotic locations. So this is a super important thing for artists to do when they are in exotic locations, is to really fill it out, because this also captures our imagination. I always love to use Star Wars as an example because it's like the most perfect example for everything. One of the things that movie so successfully did, among many things, was it never shied away from capturing the exotic feel of where the characters were at any given moment. And it always let you see it. So your mind, you were taken away in this imaginary realm of wonder. And this is very important. So I want to give not high praise, but credit, solid credit. This is important. And, Marvel, I don't give a lot of credit to. So I want to make sure that there's no feeling of bias. Like if Marvel does something good, I'm going to say it. It's a tremendous honor to die for this. They're talking about they're trying to cast this big spell to summon this super god. Okay, so it's kind of a cliche plot so far, but it's a tremendous honor to die for this spell. And then they're just like, whack, cut him. I loved your voice. That was kind of a neat little touch. Ninja, let your master know we need more powerful blood. Let the warriors come. So they've hired the Hand, which I love the Hand. If you put the Hand in a Marvel story, and I'm already like, cool, sign me up. Chapter 1. Once upon a time in the city of Sickles, Conan the Barbarian joined a band of Avengers on a dire mission to restore light to the universe. Their victory came at a cost for the Cimmerian. In the final battle, he was cast away by their enemy, but instead of landing back in the Hyborian Age, he found himself in present-day Earth, in the Savage Land. How convenient. All right, here's the credits. Look at all these editing credits. This is important to note because Marvel just doesn't seem to have editing. So they pay a lot of people. There's all this administration. It's fine. This reminds me of the American healthcare system. It's like more money in American healthcare goes towards administrative costs than actual medical care. And this is like more money Marvel, I think, is spent on editors and people with titles than the actual people who just do the books. And this is part of the problem. Here, those 4 people. That's where this book came from. Boop, 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 boop. Let's go down. Look how many editors. So stupid. Lana Smith and Tom Brevoort. All right. So we get this whole thing. Conan, there's a backstory why Conan's doing his in, and you get a cool shot. And I didn't know when I got to this page, like my instinct was to cringe. But my other part of me is just kind of like, it's kind of cool seeing Conan fight the Hand, or even just ninjas in general. Like, so like the 13-year-old in me is like, oh, cool, check it out. Awesome. And then the adult in me is like, that's just silly, stupid. So I'm like of mixed views. I'm trying to like let my brain go and just say, okay, this is what they're selling, right? You should just know what you're getting into. And it's handled okay. Like Conan fights these ninjas pretty adeptly. I mean, I know he's Conan the Barbarian, but the Hand's no slouch. They don't get a single lick in him. But whatever. They get some cool scenes, and he takes a guy's knife, and he's like, oh, he got my knife. And then he's like, you can have it back. Stabs him in the head. I've got him. And this just fight scene just eats up pages. But it's cool. Like, this lets the artist show off his art. This is what people want to see when they buy a comic for the art. They want to see the cool action scenes. And when a writer writes like this, even though it's like kind of fluff for the writer, it's show off. It's like going to a rock concert and getting a guitar solo or a drum solo or something like, right? And then all of a sudden, these stars fly over Conan's head, and he's got spider sense apparently. He can dodge things he's not aware of. And he's like, oh, grabs the sword, goes to face, swings, clang. And then Logan's just there with the sword sticking out of his head. And this is where I was like, remember all those highly paid editors that I pointed out a minute ago? Logan's head is adamantium. We all know adamantium is like the strongest metal in the universe. You can't cut through it. Especially not with some cheapy iron sword, which we know this is from the script that's at the end of the book. This is not even like special Conan magic king, whatever. It's nothing. It's just a cheap iron sword. And it bang into Wolverine's head so hard that it's able to now stick out 20 pounds from its tip. Stupid. This is where an editor should have come in and say, is it Dugan who wrote this? Do you understand physics at all? This is not how things work. Anyways, so I guess even my 13-year-old self would have been like, wait, what? Isn't Wolverine's head adamantium? I mean, they made the cling sound for a reason. Bad editing. Yeah. So then the sword falls, apparently. I know this because of the script, which I read, which the artist didn't. Anyways. And so Conan's like, Crom, and then Wolverine, fuck Crom. And fuck you. What? This is where we need the forced swearing. Okay, look, I know Wolverine is a badass, but this is bad. You don't have to write, in the good old days, like the 80s and 90s Wolverine, the Frank Miller-esque Wolverine, which, according to the script, they're trying to draw, they can make an homage to, he would have never just been like, fuck Crom, fuck you. He would have had maybe some snappy liner, like, bub, you just swung, your sword at the wrong fella. I'm the best there is at what I do, and what I do isn't very pretty. Or something. And then he would have just been like, rah, let's fight. And, something, but not just fuck you. These are supposed to be heroes, right? And Wolverine just saved this guy. And now he's trying to kill him. And now, speaking of editing, slash Conan in the face. Okay? We know he hit him because he's got 3 slash marks in the face. 3 slash marks in the face. Mark my words, these will go away. As if Conan had some healing factor. A normal human being, which Conan is, these would be permanent scars for the rest of his life. But because there's no editing, I guarantee you, and if I'm wrong, I will eat my words and maybe, I don't know, do something to make up for it. But I'm guaranteeing it. So we get this now fight between Wolverine and Conan, which is like kind of cool. Conan's, he blocks with his arm. Metal bones don't break. I don't know why Wolverine would say that. I just feel like, I don't know. I just don't think that Wolverine would be talking like that to his opponent. And then they stop fighting after he kicks him in the balls, because that's what Wolverine does, is kicks Conan in the balls. Now Conan's Achilling. Now I ain't looking. He says, now you ain't the hand, so I ain't looking to kill you. But your business with that city below has gotta wait. No man commands me. Then Wolverine's cripes. Look, I know in the 80s that was something that comic characters said because it was kind of left over from the 60s and 70s, and characters didn't cuss, so they made up these exclamations and things from a time that were held over. But you're still, this shows me as a writer that you're not embracing your environment and the world around you, but you're stuck in you're regurgitating things in media. I don't know, it just didn't play right to me. So the Wolverine blocks this rock. Why is it doing that? Blocks this rock with his claws, just sticking out, skewers the rock. Rocks don't really get skewered though. They're so hard, if he penetrated, it would just splinter. But again, no physics. High school physics apparently wasn't taken. But this made for a cool thing where Wolverine then is able to use it almost like a hammer. He swings across and smashes Conan in the face. Stay down, you dumb barbarian. I'll stay down when I'm dead. And then just guts Wolverine. Or actually sticks him in looks like the heart, the chest. Yeah, that would hurt. Probably deflate a lung. It's maybe too far over for the heart, but that's a vital organ. You fought well. You fought and died well, stranger. That's pretty. Wolverine's just like, oh. And then he keels over. And Conan's like, huh. Then Wolverine stands back up. Huh? Sorry. I ain't dead yet, bub. Just pulls the sword out. And it's like, okay, round 2. Gary Duggan didn't have to do much writing in this book, honestly. It's just 50% of this book is fight scene. So then Conan's holding his sword up and Wolverine chop, 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 cuts it through. Conan's like, devil! And charges him, attacks, more fighting. And then they go over a Wile E. Coyote cliff. Wolverine's like digging in, trying to break his fall. Conan's holding onto his leg, which of course pulls him out. Falling more. I'm not kidding when this is a Wile E. Coyote cliff. That was easily 200-foot fall. I'll be generous, say 100-foot fall, maybe. Maybe. There is no way normal human beings, you can die easily out of like out of a 2-story fall. If you don't get medical attention, you're probably, if you get a quick medical attention, you'll probably be okay. Just straight up, not hanging from the window or anything. 4 stories, you're probably breaking all the bones in your body. You need immediate medical attention. Above 4 stories, you're FUBAR. But, remember, no physics. So it crashed through the ceiling. Part of me, I was like, okay, I'll just say the ceiling broke part of their fall. Only landed in a pile of flour or rice. Okay, just conveniently. Of course, Wolverine can land on concrete. He'll be all right. So it's like, cough, cough, cough. And then Conan immediately sees a bunch of liquor, goes over, starts chugging it, starts pouring in Wolverine's mouth. Thanks, Popeye needs the spinach. And then it's like, who are you? Some pal of Kezar's? I know not that name. I was in a battle alongside the Avengers, and then I came to be here in this cursed place. Avengers, huh? Figured they'd leave a guy behind in the Savage Land, and they wonder why they're always getting attacked. The treasure hidden here will be mine. I ain't here for treasure. Look, bub, there's an easier place to knock over. But I take it you're not from around these parts. I am Conan of Samaria, bub. Hey, conveniently, there's some samurai swords mounted on the wall. So Conan apparently is going to take. I am Logan of Pabst. Sniff. Hail, Logan of Pabst. Your sneak blades make you a formidable foe. Truly, I have never met a man as deathless as you. What is your business here? And then, so Logan's talking about he's trying to save a friend, yada, yada, yada. And then Conan's like, well, I'm looking for this jewel, blah, 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 blah. And then he's like, if we meet again, we'll cross blades. Conan spits. Wizard should be put to the sword. You got a lot of great ideas, bub. Grab your treasure, but don't stick around, because things are going to get hairy. Good luck on your quest, Logan of Pabst. And then they split up. Now, this probably should have been where the issue ended, so that we could pick up from the next issue, but I guess they wanted a bigger issue so they could have a higher cover price, so that the story continues, and now we're in Madripoor, and we've got Dr. Voodoo, and he has showed up because someone hired him to come, and he's here, and just like talking about the hand, blah, 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 and he's like, it's like, did you think I would come to Madripoor unprepared? And he's using his magic. And we see Conan storming some castle, looking for his thing. And he breaks in, and we see what looks like Venom. What? Looks like Venom. Trapped in a cage above some sort of altar. And again, here's where the art is really cool. So like set the scene. This looks really awesome. And Conan's Grom. And then we go back to Voodoo, and he's like, oh, okay, how about best 2 out of 3? So obviously he got beat. And we know this scene, right? It's familiar. He's about to be sacrificed. Thank you, doctor, but no. Your power will be joined with the blood in the bowl, and we will be one rung higher on the ladder to our heaven. Man, what the hell are you talking about? There's a planet beyond Pluto in our own solar system. I always find it interesting when people in the Marvel Universe talk about science in the normal universe as if, like, a lot of people don't know that there's a planet beyond Pluto, okay? It was only recently discovered in the past, I think, 2 decades. Then again, they're still debating whether Pluto's a planet. But anyways, in the Marvel Universe, people travel across the galaxy. There's all this stuff. It's not like people are like, what? There's a planet? They're not living in... It's just so weird to me that they talk about things like that we don't know about because we don't got characters traveling across the stars. But these characters would all know. Anyways, I'm totally diverging. They're explaining about how they want to summon their god and blah, 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 and just blah, blah. Yeah, look at that. That's a cool page. That's a pretty scary thing. And part of me is like, is this the Venom god thing? Now, I don't read Marvel. I don't read modern Marvel because reasons. Anyways, you're insane. Perhaps so, blah, blah, blah. And then now, so Wolverine's trying to go rescue him. Voodoo, hang on. Don't you touch him. And he's just gutting ninjas left. And look at this. Just, damn. It's the Wolverine. Subdue him. No. And then there's all these shurikens. And do not tarry. Restrain the mutant. We hear and obey. So they're trying to lay a trap. And it's like, what are all these dead bodies? I told you about live bodies. Like, no, it's a trap. And who are they laying a trap for? Frank Castle. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, so they describe him as like, these corpses are bait for a warrior who has shed more blood than almost any other man. We made sure he will know where to find us. So, they dug up the graves of his family. Uh-oh. The powerful blood our spell requires will seek us out. Prepare to exsanguinate the Punisher. Uh-oh. You pissed off the wrong broski. Alright, so that's it. Next issue. Of course, more Wolverine versus Punisher because that sells books. So, I was shocked. I was shocked and shocked. Let's have another cover to look at. When I saw this was solicited, I was like face palmed and almost broke my nose. Okay? That's how hard I face palmed it. I still think Conan the Avengers is the dumbest thing. It's so dumb. But comics in general are kind of silly anyway, right? You got a kid get bit by a radioactive spider, now he's blah, 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 right? So you have to sort of be able to suspend your disbelief a little bit and allow for silly things. In this world, the silly kind of works. I still wouldn't have done this, but it is way less cringe-inducing than I thought. I actually enjoyed this book. There were some things to critique. There were some obviously big editing faux pas, and that drives me bananas. Because like I said, it's not like there's just one editor on the book or whatever. You've got all these people making all these decisions, controlling the industry, and they don't even seem to even do a basic job of editing. The editing today is a mere fraction of what editors seemed to do back in the good old days, but I digress. So this book, I'll show you some alternate covers here, was fun. Like I said, except for those couple weird moments that the editor could have stepped in, I enjoyed the action. this whole blood summoning the blood god storyline that's going to bring the Savage Avengers ultimately together. And here they are. We've seen now Wolverine and Conan and Dr. Voodoo. Now we know how Conan's going to come into play, and we saw they'll probably end up rescuing Venom. Now the only last piece is where she's going to come in. So there'll probably be 2 or 3 issues of how they all come together to fight this thing. I don't know why Thor's over here, but look at this Mobius art of Elektra. This is $114 at my store. I was like, oh my god. But this is the cover I would have gotten, because silly book needs a silly cover, and Scotty Young is just classic. But it was enjoyable, and I see 2 or 3 issues of getting the gang together. 3 more issues to complete the arc of them fighting whatever this is and stopping this god thing from coming into play. And then voila, you've got a team book. Now, it doesn't make much sense because Wolverine's in the X-Men. Wolverine is off in the galaxy guarding the Infinity Stones. Wolverine's got his own book. Like, Wolverine's just all over the place. So the Marvel Universe doesn't have any continuity. Why he would have his own team of Avengers just doesn't make any sense. This might have worked well for me as like an Elseworlds book. Marvel doesn't do Elseworlds, but it's like an Elseworld miniseries, as if, what if this happened? What if this story happened and Wolverine was, and then it's like you run it for like 6 to 12 issues, and then it's over, and we can kind of enjoy these characters being together and seeing what it would have been like and been cool without it conflicting with the Marvel continuity and being stupid that Conan's even part, whatever. But be that as it may, this was a solid book. If this is something that, if you didn't face cringe when you saw Savage Avengers, if you saw the original solicitation cover of this and weren't just like, what the F am I looking at? Then this book is for you. Thumbs up, right? It absolutely was good. I will give it a mild recommendation, and I didn't expect to. The art, the writing was standard. Nothing really effed up about it. I do really like this cover, actually, aside from the subject matter. Finch always really appeals to me. So this has been a long review. I didn't expect it. Like I said, it was off the cuff. I didn't plan. This hopefully is valuable to people because it is this Savage Avengers #1. I don't normally like promoting Marvel because I think Marvel is dropping the ball in a lot of areas, but it is apparent, it is absolutely apparent that Comicsgate has had an impact on the industry, and Marvel in particular, because they were the biggest offenders in the industry, and they are changing their tune. There was absolutely no political agenda here. It was some silliness, but it was just straight up fun comics. The art was solid. This was the type of book that Comicsgate has been asking for Marvel to kind of, in a way, to make. And, not a year or 2 years ago when we were getting, Mark Waid's Champions and, was it the new Hulk kid, and Jane Foster Thor and all that, Hail Hydra, Captain America, just, I could go on and on about, Mustard and Bigotry X-Men. It just was nonstop. Everywhere you turned around was social engineering Marvel. This is just straight up old school, fun Marvel type stuff. So there you have it. My long-winded Conan review. It was a bigger book than normal, is partly why it took long to go through. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for a little cartoon. Bye. It's time for another JL8 webcomic number 23 by Yale Stewart. This is my playground. There is nothing about her I don't know. She keeps no secrets from me. No bully or cheater I can't bring to justice here. I protect her. Bruce! Sometimes I can hear her calling me. Bruce! Can you be vigilant somewhere else?